ahead. We'll go into, and then you'll do your...
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Good.
So, hi, welcome to our space. This is Nezelle, Clarke, Ashby.
And this is Stephanie Khan.
And we are Business to Business times 2.
We didn't get the two together, but that's fine.
That's fine.
That's
right?
okay.
So, for me, Nezelle is a fantastic co-host. When I was thinking about doing this podcast, I really wanted to do with somebody that, I'm business development and I really go out and I get all of the business for you. But Nezelle, with Kazi Company, it really sees about the growth, because as entrepreneurs, when we start, we're looking at beyond us. We're looking to add value to our community, and Nezelle gives structure, especially to my business, in terms of payroll and making sure I do all my taxes and getting all of that compliance and that lovely HR side. So when I have issues, or even before that, we have strategies in place for that. That is Nezelle.
So, Stephanie and her company can connect you. Stephanie does, her organization really does the things that I don't like to do. And it's so funny because most entrepreneurs, SMEs, don't like to do what I do. And it's so funny.
No,
I guess what
I
I
don't like
do,
to do what she does.
I don't like the marketing and advertising and
she doesn't like the
social
relationship
media,
building. She doesn't like the networking, and thinking about new ways to promote.
No, I'd like thinking about new ways to promote. I like to do it behind a desk on a computer with paper and a book, and I can put in numbers.
With Can Connect You, you're literally
there's flair to what she does.
Yeah, you're literally gonna get me going out there and saying, "Hi, I think you need one of my clients' help," and really introducing people like that. So you're using my network. I'm using my network to really solidify sales for people and to really break the ice. Because not all of us are icebreakers, just as we were just discussing. Not all of us are meant to be entrepreneurs. Some people, we like routine and we like structure. And sometimes when you're building something from scratch, as most of us are doing, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're looking at gaps in the market to really see where we can sell our products and services, and if it is needed. Some of us like routine, and entrepreneurship is not that.
So we have decided to create a space through this platform where we will share with persons who are thinking about being entrepreneurs, some of you all who are entrepreneurs, some persons who have full-fledged small SMEs, as we call them, and you need structure, you want growth strategies, you want to develop, you don't want this to be a quick fix, a way of earning quick cash. It's not a side hustle. You have transitioned beyond that time, and we have created this space where we will talk all the unsexy things.
All the unsexy things
that they glamorize about entrepreneurship.
So they really tend to, and when you go on social media as well, you see the end product. You see when that person is successful and is gaining traction, and not really about the sacrifices they have had to make to reach that point, to even be in front of your screen looking at you on your social media. They've made a lot of sacrifices to get to that point. So this podcast is for people who are serious about their business, and you're going to get business terms, you're going to hear about funding, you're going to hear about growth strategies. You're going to leave every one of our episodes with some sort of action plan for yourself. It's not just about you being alone. We're providing you with a community where you can see people like yourself growing, So.
And everyone that's going to join us when we share information here, I want to really emphasize entrepreneurship. It's not a journey that should be walked by everyone. It's not a journey that should be shared lightly. We are going to share the things that are hard, the things that nobody wants to talk about, as basic as not getting paid on doing what you're supposed to do.
Or getting bashed by your clients on social media.
On social media.
And how do you handle something like that?
That's where we are going to jump in at. That's the end that we are going to get at, because there's a way to deal with everything and come out on the other side and still continue and still pursue this. We are going to talk that entrepreneurship, if there's no shame in being an employee and having an 8 to 4. Having an 8 to 4 gives you steady
Stability.
employment, it's security, you get health benefits and paid vacations and company cars and all sorts of things. Depending on how large or the length or the size of your entrepreneurial venture, some of those things come at a premium. And as an employee or not an employee, depending on where you sit, do I really want to give up the chance of all those things to walk this entrepreneurial world, to deal with having to go to Ministry of Legal Affairs or to face BIR or to face NIB or to just face employees and not coming to work and having to write a warning letter and all of that? Is that the space I want to function in? We are going to give you as much information as we can based
As we
on
can,
our
and
experience.
we encourage you asking us questions. We want you to ask us questions because really and truly, this podcast is for serious entrepreneurs. You're going to hear
Yes.
B2B, which is business to business. You're going to hear about B2C, business to clients. We're going to use all of these terms, ROI, your return on your investment. So it really is, we're not sugarcoating it, and we expect you at this level that you want. If you're interested, that you're going to really follow and learn something, and you have to be willing to do the work. We have this, myth, this fantasy that goes around that people think that being an entrepreneur means that I no longer have to work that hard. That's really, we're here to tell you, you're going to work triple as hard. Your brain never shuts off. You're constantly doing, you're constantly thinking, as, our previous guest said, Mariel, that at night she can't sleep because she's thinking about different systems she needs to put in place to make her business better.
I can remember one time, because I'm doing this, he saw me dying of the flu. And a few years, got the flu, went to the doctor, and he's like, oh, let me give you a sick leave.
Yeah, I laugh when I get sick leave.
And I'm like, giving me a sick leave, really, it's not going to make a difference, but thank you. Right? I took it because, he did what he was supposed to do. But as an entrepreneur, you don't have that luxury sometimes.
Sometimes
Sickness just knocks you down and you need to take a minute. But, really, you don't have those
I
luxuries.
think eventually, it's not all doom and gloom. So eventually,
it's not all doom and gloom.
You are going to get to the point where you do have employees and you have systems in place. And this is where we come in. We are not treating your business like, as Nezelle said before, as a side hustle.
Yeah.
You're treating it as a living, breathing entity that has its own staff, that has its own systems in place. And see that word systems in place, that process is very important so that you can take sick leave and the business is still going and the business pays for itself as well, because you've put those things in place. You've hired employees, you have your goals, you have your structure in place so that you can now focus. As I always tell people, my core competency is to help you be able to do your core competency. You're focusing on what you're best at and not kind of nitpicking about payroll, which is where we put the systems in place for our businesses. So she doesn't have to nitpick about marketing and business development, and I don't have to nitpick about payroll and trying to make NIS get to that point where rushing to NIS to pay for the monthly dues, etc.
So let's share who we are and why we.
Yeah, because you're thinking these two fast women. What do we know about entrepreneurship?
So, Cassie Company, it's a company that's not a business. I'm not the sole person behind this entity in any way. I'm one of the directors that sits on the board. We started in 2018, and through the years, my boast about the organization, and for me it's a very personal boast, we survived COVID, because I know a lot of organizations out there really didn't, and we rallied through, and we started. It's important for us to, when we do what we do, let me explain what we do. We do work on behalf of SMEs. Work meaning we do the things. So let's just say you are now a landscaper. You have bought 2 trucks and you have 2 crews, and you guys go out there and you do a fantastic job. Saturday morning, I'm waiting for you all to come cut my grass. What you have just created is a new entity that, in addition to making sure you guys have the tools to work, you now have an additional side to take care of as the owner of this organization. We will now support you. We will give you that entire department that you don't have, there's no room for, nor that you want to really be bothered with giving somebody a payslip or a job letter or signing something for them to take to the bank. We will provide that support for you. And you have an entire company that we take care of the HR side, we take care of the accounting side, we do administrative work, we do recruitment, just to make sure that the SME themselves can focus on what their core competency is. And I'm saying SME, and I'm using the word SME and entrepreneur interchangeably, but they're different levels because some companies start off as just entrepreneurs, one person doing their thing,
idea,
and they're doing their thing and they're doing it
developed
well. But as you grow, which is what we promote at Kazi Company, we promote growth. We want to take you through that growth cycle. You will move from an entrepreneur, this one person in charge of everything, and now you're going to add staff and you're going to put systems in place, or you're going to come to us as a service provider, and so that you could focus on what you could focus on, and you're going to have everything else taken care of. As I tell persons, you're not going to go to the cobbler to get your shoes fixed if your finger hurts in you. If your finger hurts in you, go to the doctor. So I can't be a great landscaper and running this amazing business, but are trying to calculate green fund come on, the third quarter in the year to pay it. It's not a good remedy.
I'm just going to jump in because as we go along, we're going to explain the differences between, as Nezelle kind of touched on there, the difference between an entrepreneur you're starting and you are the one breaking new ground. And some people are business owners. They're not breaking new ground. They're developing systems and they're running a business. And, it's separate and apart from them, but they're not necessarily doing new things, to really fix or provide solutions. New solutions. They're running a business and the systems are in place there and they're just lolling. They're rocking back and they're benefiting from it as well.
Yeah.
But I really want to talk about the fact that so you do that on your end and on my end it's the same thing basically. So you don't want to have a business development in-house. You have it outside. You have it external, and that's what I provide. My team and I provide IT support. We do all of the things that you need to really develop your business. We come in, we do a gap analysis, we look and see what's going on with your business and where, and even in your marketing suite, you're lacking a business profile, something as simple as a company profile, and you don't have that. Your website is not in order, you don't have content for it. We arrange for the photography to happen. We arrange for videography like we're doing at Affordable Imports today. We're here recording our podcast. Hey, and this journey really came from that, filling the gaps and really providing solutions for entrepreneurs so that they can continue to grow. So the businesses that you're going to see here are really ones that align with our pillars, because as I always tell people, when you're starting your business, you really have to know what your values and your morals are, what ethics you have, so that you surround yourself with people who are growth minded, who want to help each other grow and see other people succeed as well. But we're talking about going new places and developing new ideas. We are constantly talking to each other, but we constantly talk about things that we're providing solutions for each other. She has an issue, we will discuss it, we brainstorm together, we ideate. We go through that design thinking process that, if you follow me separately, I hope you're going to follow us, both of us, Kazi Company on social media, and you're going to reach out to us with your questions. But, I talk about design thinking a lot, that process of ideating, that process of actually going through and doing empathy. And a lot of businesses are not started because their why is very important. Your why should be that you're providing a solution, that you see a gap in the market, just like Affordable Imports. His why is amazing. He saw something that was missing in the market in terms of photography and videography. There wasn't a studio like this, and he provided a solution. So that's what we help you do. Well, I will help you do from ideation and go straight to solutions, and the systems for you to be sustainable and to be bringing in revenue and then eventually making a profit. You see the difference there? Revenue, profit, two different things.
Yeah.
So those are the things that we put in place here, and that's what you're going to do on this podcast. And the people that we're partnering with is people who share our ideology.
People who understood that the why for starting their business, it's not a side hustle. It was not to get rich quickly.
It's not to get rich quick.
It's not to make money. It's not to beef your bank account. That's not why you should start a business. Now, if you're looking for extra cash and you have a way of doing it, great. That's, power to you. Go ahead. We're just saying, we will share a little bit more with you. We might get you excited about taking it from the side hustle phase and really turning it into something that could last beyond you. So be careful. But we will share that type of information with you. Entrepreneurship it has to be self-driven. It has to be self-driven. A lot of our Caribbean or Trinidadian conglomerates, some of the big companies we have here, when you listen to the grandfather or the great grandfather, it was really just their passion. And they built something that is now beyond them. It's generations and generations, and will continue for generations and generations. You know, how big do you want to go?
Yeah. How big do you want to go? And it's not just a get rich quick scheme. I mean, there are people who have decided hustle and selling something for 2 minutes and then it fails.
Yeah.
We help build businesses that go on for generations, you know, and really and truly, we focus a lot on the get rich quick schemes and what we see on social media, and we will have real business owners here, real life stories that you can hear with their struggles and how they got funded. And we're not really regurgitating, you know, we see a lot of other podcasts or people offering advice, but it really is them regurgitating a lot of American values and American ways of doing things. But in the Caribbean, we're different. Our market is different.
Our market is different. We're different people. I mean, we all know that. So there are a lot of things that are unique to us, that is specific, that we need to just hone in on. Don't run away from it. Or I know people like to complain. You know, sometimes we all fall victim. Oh gosh, why are we so, you know, in this country this happens like this? And while those things might be true, we function in this space. And we have to function in this space. If you don't have to, and you can go somewhere else that's amazing and function the way you like, you know, I'm happy for you. I'm glad, you know. But before you can, you have to function here, and there's a specific way to do it.
And you know, I wanna leave you all with something quick and tangible. So walk us through, Nezelle. If I'm going to the bank and I want to open a business bank account, what do I need to have?
Well, most banks, or all banks really, the list of documents are the same, and you need to be compliant. And we need to start talking about that word as entrepreneurs, SMEs, you know, sole traders, company limited. Compliance is important. It is the backbone of your operation. If you want to fly under the radar and have a side hustle, then compliance doesn't mean anything to you until it catch up to you, because it's going to catch up to you. We function in a space in our country. Income is supposed to be taxed, and I don't want to tax my money. You know, they tax us because we live in a society. And I'm going a little off topic, but I just want to. I am passionate about paying taxes, and it's so because we live in a space where we have a free hospital. As bad as it is, everybody, don't get me wrong, it's still free. They'll save your life if they have to. We have decent roads. We have free schooling. We have decent energy rates. We have decent water rates. Those things come at a cost to the government. The government system is the largest employer of the country. Those things come at a cost. The way they get it is that they need to collect taxes, right? So compliance is important. It is the backbone. It will take you through. It will ensure your growth and your survival. So all the compliance documents, company documents, certificates. To open the bank account, they don't ask you for tax requirements, but they just ask you if you're registered.
Yeah.
It will become important later down the road, but the bank in particular does not ask you for it. But it's important for you to have a bank account to function legitimately and not pass through money through your personal account. And I know the banks are now getting very stringent, and so to open a bank account typically as an individual, it's a job letter and an ID and that kind of thing. So you can't have a job letter say, okay, I'm making $6,000, but on a monthly basis when they start doing their audits in the bank, it's
They're saying
$25,000 coming in,
going
like
into your account
they are
every
going
month.
to ask you a question.
Yeah,
They're going
and
to
that's
ask you
why
a
we've
question.
we've seen clients of ours and even friends of ours who are not compliant, who are running a business, and it's not they haven't registered. So as she's saying, if you're running money like that, they're gonna shut your account down.
Yeah,
They're gonna hand you back your money and say you need to close because you are not operating within the fiduciary guidelines of Trinidad or even the Caribbean and Jamaica. They have the same guidelines. You must. That's why we're not trying to be unbanked. Your money is passing through an account,
yeah,
and that's a very good way of safety actually. So you're not collecting cash in your hand,
yeah.
and now you have to check every bill to make sure that it's not counterfeit. If money is passing through the bank, you can now pay people bank to bank, transfer money from one account to the next, so that you don't get robbed.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so simple things like that, and that's why large sums of money they encourage that to be transferred. But to be able to do that,
You need to have
you have to be compliant. You have to have a bank account, and as a matter of course, I will not do big business with anyone, with any business entity that you don't have a bank account.
Yeah, that's a
risk.
red flag.
That's a red flag.
That's
hey,
a red flag.
hey.
If you're a company, business, or why don't you have an account?
Why don't you have an account?
That's going to concern
Why
me.
don't you have an account? I ask that question all the time.
That's going to
Okay,
concern me.
I can understand if you're starting the business, you're in ideation phase. So don't get me wrong, and you're testing the market to see is it really necessary to go through all of these compliance issues to get all my ducks in a row. But after a year has passed and you're still operating and you don't have a business account, that's a red flag.
Yeah, that's a big red flag.
And here what's going to happen. I'm going to say in my tax documents that you have paid me money because I'm going to invoice you. And that now alerts BIR, our Board of Inland Revenue, or any tax, throughout the Caribbean, any tax organization, the government tax organizations, once they do an audit of one company and they see a name coming up that they're paying to or paying from or receiving money from, and they realize when they dig and they do their research that you are not registered, they're going to come and audit you, and they've shut people's accounts down for that.
Yeah, compliance is important.
Compliance is important because we're here about growth. So if you're happy stuffing money into your shoebox under your bed, not a problem. This podcast is not for you.
Yeah.
Let's just put that out there.
Yeah.
If you are happy shoving money in your shoebox, and then we hear about break-ins happening, and then we're wondering how you had $30,000 in your house for somebody to steal.
Yeah.
This is usually why you're not compliant.
And it benefits you in the long run. I always tell persons, you develop, and I know we have a lot of businesses out there that are cash-based. The parlor by the corner,
The doubles man.
and it's very cash-based.
Mm-hmm.
But the day, unless you're making a lot of money and you can pull out 200,000, 300,000 and go buy a new car or pay down on the land or whatever, I am extremely happy for you. But in most instances, we go to a financial institution and we look for loans and we look for funding and that sort of thing. And just out from a very common sense layman's point of view, if there's a relationship, then the consideration is different. If you have no relationship to me, but I have $100,000 to start with, here, bank, help me out, you're going to be like,
They want source of
"What?"
funds.
Yeah, like, how did you get this?
How you get this?
What happened? So
And we like
it's
to talk about
important.
crime and crime rising. This is one of
Yeah.
them.
So
This
compliance
one
is
reason.
the
Compliance is
the name of the game.
important.
We are
Yeah.
going to have a lot of compliance discussions here, and as we go down in our episodes, we're going to have some working things happening just to show you how to help yourselves. Don't recommend you help yourself, but just to help yourself. And maybe we want to break the stigma that goes with all these things. I know a lot of people say it's expensive and they don't have time and they don't understand and it's robbing them and that sort of thing. And we want to break that stigma. It's not scary. It doesn't hurt your organization. Actually, it benefits your organization. So you'll be taking off some of that gray film it have on those things, just erasing it a little bit and having those really candid discussions about how we can help you, where to go for help, Cassie Company.
And can connect you.
And can connect you. And to be quite honest, there are a lot of agencies out there that are willing to help. We prefer you come to us first, obviously.
Yeah.
But
So you're gonna see some
you
people.
can get help.
You're gonna see some people here too who will give you legal advice. You know, you saw Marielle talking about woodworking, and we're gonna give you real solutions with real people. So you're gonna see us more and more, and we hope you're gonna follow us. And what we want you to follow us, we are here on TikTok, we are on YouTube, we're on every podcast platform that you can think of, from Google to Apple, Spotify. You can find us.
And Stephanie
So
does
that
it
is-
all. Just I just want y'all to know it's not. Cassie doesn't do anything.
Cassie shows up, but she brings, her experience as well. But, we're here business to business, and it is us not just looking at services that we can provide for you, but it's really highlighting the businesses that operate in this space. The businesses that operate in Trinidad and Tobago and add value and provide solutions to what you're facing. So customized furniture from Rustic Connections. We're going to have someone next week talking about design, when it is you have a booth to do for TIC, which is the Trade and Investment Convention from TTMA, which is Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturing Association. When you have the booth to do for any trade show, you can come to Matthew and actually get things done. We're going to have chefs on talking about their food journey. We're going to have some steel companies. We will have a lot of real life business people talking about the struggles that they face and the juggling that has to come with it, and the success stories that they will share with us as well. Because with this journey, and we refer to entrepreneurship as a journey, it's not a sprint. This is not, we're not Usain Bolt here. We're not going for the 100-meter dash and you're not going to finish in 2 seconds like that. Nope. It is a journey, and it is you putting in the hard work and reaping the rewards. And we've seen that with generational businesses, and we're not going to name any names, but we've seen it.
Yeah. So join us in our next one. See y'all.
So see y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye. From business to business times 2.
And
All right,
cut.
that's it.
I need more water.